Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, what you try, no matter how many books you read, videos you watch, how many meditations you listen to, you're somehow just stuck in this endless loop of almost seeing results, almost having your breakthrough, and then just somehow always feeling like you're back at square one? But once you understand what's actually keeping you in the loop, you're never going to see your life the same way again. So let's break it down, because here's the truth. You are, in fact, caught in a loop. But most people think that they live in a loop of their thoughts, their emotions, and their behaviors. While it's true, it's just not complete. It's only part of the equation, because what actually sits beneath all of this is your self concepts, who you fundamentally believe yourself to be in the world, what you're capable of. And your nervous system doesn't follow your vision board or your journals, right? It's going to follow who you believe yourself to be. So if you deep down believe yourself to be someone who struggles, who always fails, who never gets it right, and who's always stuck in a loop, then your mind and your reality is never going to show anything else. And that's why affirmations alone don't work, because they are often just bumping against what you deeply believe to be true. So I have a question for you. What identity are your current thoughts, habits, and behaviors orbiting around? Because your goals might not be landing, even if you're doing everything right, right? You're journaling right, you're manifesting right, you're meditating right, but you're still anchored into a self-concept that's quietly saying, I'm not ready, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, people don't like me, I'm not capable of doing that, success is for everyone but me. And so your subconscious is going to protect you from your goals, not guide you to them. So let me just say that again. Your subconscious is wired to keep you safe, not successful. So if your goals feel threatening to who your current identity is, you're going to unconsciously block or sabotage it. This isn't about trying harder. It's about shifting fundamentally who you believe yourself to be, shifting your actions, your behaviors, and your belief systems to your identity, the one you wish yourself to be, not the one your current reality says you are. So when you're journaling, try playing with a prompt that says, if I fully believed that I was ready and worthy, and what would I stop waiting for? And what would I stop assuming? Because when you shift your assumptions, you're going to shift your life. Because most people get stuck trying to change their actions or even saying affirmations. But here's the thing. If your affirmations conflict with your assumptions, like it's going to be hard, it's going to take forever, it probably won't work for me, then your assumptions are going to quietly reinforce the actions you either take or don't take. And in Newton's third law, he says every single action creates an equal and opposite reaction. And that's the same to be true with your actions, right? They're always going to create a result. So if your assumptions are formed by past experiences, not your current potential, then this is where your current, cognitive bias is going to activate your particular activating system, which is going to consistently look in the world to see and reinforce what you believe to be true. So you might start seeing reasons why you shouldn't move forward or reasons why you're failing. So maybe you've had that experience of looking at a car to buy and all of a sudden that car is everywhere. And that's your particular activating system in action. So here's the identity expanding question. What are the new assumptions that would create a radically different outcome for you this year? Because when you assume that things are going to work out for you, you start behaving in a different way. Even if things quote unquote go wrong in your life, even if something seems to go against every single goal you're setting, you could still look at that and be like, I assume that everything's working out for me. I assume that everything is working for my benefit. I assume that or even just assuming you're a resilient person who can overcome anything, or assuming you're the kind of person who always sees the potential in a problem, the possibility. It's funny because so many people are like, whoa, Ashley, you're really good at solving problems. And I'm like, that's because I've had so many. But guess what? I also assume that there's a reality where I don't have problems, but I also assume that problems present themselves as opportunities. And to be honest, I've made a multiple six-figure business out of solving problems. So not every single problem is a bad thing. It's just based on the way your assumptions are actually going to, what you're associating your assumptions with. So let's bring this down to a science, right? Because when your identity shifts, your reticular activating system starts filtering the world differently, as I just mentioned. So your brain goes into, what do we believe? Cool, I'm going to look for that. Your attention is going to follow your assumptions. Your energy follows your attention, and your choices follow what feels safe and familiar. So when you upgrade your self-concept and your identity, you're not changing your mindset per se. You're literally changing what your brain sees and prioritizes and moves towards. That's why identity first is going to move the needle so much faster. It's not magic, it's literal neurology, right? So if you want your life to change your story, change your signal that you're sending out to the world, and then you're going to change your results. Because let's face it, identity is a frequency loop of thoughts, emotions, beliefs. They're not just mental, they're energetic. And whenever you're conscious of it or not, you're broadcasting something out to the world, right? So the world doesn't respond to what you say you want, it responds to your frequency on how you're saying it. If your words say abundance, but your energy says desperation, the signal wins, right? There's just no two ways about it. That's why so many people feel stuck, or why you might be in a loop, because you're still turned into an outdated version of yourself. You're operating from an old operating system, expecting to shift into a new channel, right? So make sure to check your frequency or what you're broadcasting. Like I used to say to some of my clients, like, if the thoughts you're thinking in your head isn't something that you'd want someone putting a megaphone to and broadcasting to the world around you, you're thinking the wrong thoughts, right? Because we're often not as kind to ourselves as we are to other people. If a lot of people saw our inner dialogue, they'd probably be shocked and horrified. And so you need to stop asking yourself how you're going to get somewhere, but how you would think, how you would act, how you move, what you would believe, right? You're not just faking it till you're making it, you're rehearsing it till you become it. This is what athletes and performers and entrepreneurs do, because it's the fastest path to becoming your next level self. It's to live like them now, in the energy, in the intention, in the action. So here's a real world application for you. Pick one decision today that aligns with the version of you who's already there, and make it. If you have a problem, solve it like the person who's already made it. Your repetition and what you're repeating is going to base your reality. So this isn't just a one-time mindset shift. It's a daily alignment process that becomes easier with time. Identity is sticky, and your nervous system is going to default to what's familiar until repetition shows it that there's a new normal, there's a new safe. Right? So that means the more you rehearse this new version of you in your daily life, the more you act, speak, move like them, respond, not react, right? Respond from your future version, your future identity, not react as your current self. You're going to be changing your reality by being consistent with who you say you want to be over and over and over again. That's actually why I created the 90-day activation arc. It's 100% free to help you implement this in real life, in real structure, and with real support. You're going to get a free workbook, daily trackers, full gamified systems that's going to walk you through every single step. And this is the exact tools that I used to build a multiple six-figure business from scratch when I couldn't even afford toilet paper. So here's what you want to do in order to maximize your results and maximize your identity. You want to click the link below and download the free workbook, where I'm going to give you actionable steps on how to actually create that new identity, how to, what I would say, activate your new identity, how to activate your vision, how to activate your action to get you out of the loop, to get you out of that daily, that daily grind and hamster wheel of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. In fact, you probably know that's what Einstein said the definition of insanity is when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So what you actually need to do is fundamentally change who you're being in the world, how you're interacting with your environment, how you're how you're seeing yourself, and leverage, the tools of actual, neuroplasticity and scientific research that says that here's how you can fundamentally change who you are, not just by wishful thinking, but by actual practical application. So let me know in the comments below and comment activate if you want to get started on this free 90-day journey. You've got thousands of people already going through it. I'm also going to share with you, different meditations and videos on how to radically shift your identity, on how to radically step into this, because the fact of the matter is you're not going to get to where you're going if you're being who you are. You have to actually completely shift the way you operate in the world. You need to shift your operating system, and you need to be able to go through those moments of stickiness where you haven't yet gotten what you desire, and hold that faith and know how to do that and know how to be that person who can do it, right? Because I think a lot of people look at success and they look at, the confidence, or they'll look at and they'll admire certain traits. But I think the most important traits are the grit and the perseverance and the resilience and the dedication, right? The less sexy traits that no one really looks at, but everyone needs in order to go to that next level, in order to embody that next version, and in order to really step in to that vision. So if you're someone who's tried everything and you are actually dedicated to change, I promise you, you can become a radically different version of yourself. I'm 45 now. I have reinvented myself almost every single decade. When I was 35, I went from, leaving a toxic relationship and going to the dollar store and crying in aisle 5 because nothing was a dollar, literally bawling my eyes out, having a mental breakdown at the dollar store. But within, 30 days of applying these principles, I went from not being able to afford toilet paper to having my first 10K month. And then that year, I had filled out retreats in Bali. I'd never even been to Bali before. I was speaking on stages, same stages as Amy Porterfield. I was getting asked to speak in Los Angeles and New York. And I'd built a multiple six-figure business within a year. But it didn't come from being the woman in the dollar store, although I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her, and I love her, and I still think about her all the time and the reverence I have for her strength. But I didn't get to where I am from having the same operating system that I had as her. And so this video is an invitation for you to step into a new reality and to really, it's the work that no one talks about because it's actual work. It's not just like visualize and meditate in a cave and have millions of dollars drop on your head. It's like, this is the real work. But if you do the real work and you really lean into it, it actually becomes effortless. It actually becomes fun. It actually becomes something that you look forward to doing every day. You just need to learn to do it in a way that resonates with who you are, that's in alignment with where you're going and who you want to be. So make sure to let us know in the comments that you're committed, that you're in, that you're dedicated, and also celebrate other people in the comments, right? Like, celebrate each other. Let each other know that you're supporting each other, because together we rise, right? Like, energy around your goals and visions, not just for yourself, but from other people, are really what's going to take you to the next level. And if you want to get access to the free system, you just click the link below, 100% for free. Download all of the resources and join us on this journey. I'm actually, at the time of filming this, on a journey myself, using the activation arc to build a multiple $1 million business within this year, pretty much starting from scratch. So you're also going to be able to join that journey as well. And you're also going to get access to a whole bunch of videos and resources that I'm not going to be making available on this channel. So if it resonates with you, just hit that thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button, because I've got so many more videos on identity shifting, goal setting, gamifying your life, and just basically how to live your best life in a realistic, tangible, practical way, but that's also fun and exciting and in alignment with who you want to be and who you truly are at the core and center of your being. So thank you so much for watching. If you don't know me, my name is Super Duper Ashley Cooper, and I hope you check out this video next and you have a super duper fabulous day.